Riders, welcome back to Sam's Bikes, where you know we only talk e-bikes, and today we are looking at 12, that's right, 12 new electric mountain bikes hitting the market in 2023. I know the market is going crazy. It's hard for me to keep up and probably harder for you riders, so that's why I make these videos, and let's check out the bikes. So the format of this video, we're gonna look at the bikes, I'm gonna give my opinion, but riders, if you want more information of any of these bikes you see here, head over to samsbikes.net. The best, the first electric mountain bike finder on the internet. And riders, if you haven't checked it out, I definitely think you should. Let me know what you think. And also, there's a newish feature on samsbikes.net, the Pro Bike Compare. So you can actually search by motor, by chainstay length, by battery size, by price, or put all your requirements in and it will spit out my recommendations. You can also look at all those recommendations and you can fine tune, so you can select 3 or 4 bikes and then look at them side by side. I personally think it is the best place to find your next dream electric mountain bike. And talking about dream electric mountain bikes, if you haven't seen my series where I'm taking a specialized Levo Gen 3 from zero to hero to race ready spec, check it out. Click on this video to start the series, and also on this video you will see how to enter the 3,000 euro giveaway, because we're about to hit 30,000 subscribers at Sam's Bikes, riders. I'm absolutely blown away, and I thank each and every one of you riders out there for your support. And before we crack on, let's thank the sponsors, Insta360 and Quadlock and Schwarby. Schwarby came on as a major sponsor about 2 years ago, seeing value in what I'm doing. And riders, if you are looking at a new electric mountain bike, it's no secret out there that most of the electric mountain bikes that are sold off the shelf come with pretty rubbish, thin casing tires. My go-to setup for the best traction and zero punches is a Magic Mary Ultra Soft in 2.4 with the super gravity casing, and then a Magic Mary at the back in 2.4 as well in the super gravity casing, but the soft compound. This will just last a little bit longer. Now on to the 12 new electric mountain bikes for 2023. And first up, the Ibis Oso. Wow, Ibis, welcome to the party. Ibis have sat on the sidelines for the last 4 years, and now they've released the new Oso, which I think is possibly the best electric mountain bike released this year. The Oso is rolling on 29 wheels, or it comes in a mullet configuration in small and medium. We've got travel numbers of 170 at the front and 155 in the stock configuration, but also you can bump it up to 190 with double crown forks and 170 in the rear by changing the stroke length. It's coming with a Bosch Gen 4 motor, a 750 watt-hour battery, coming in at 24.1 kilos, 4 sizes available, and only one model at the moment for 12,000 euros. Okay, so what do I think of the Oso? First off, love the name. Oso means bear in Spanish, and this is a big bear. And secondly, the first time I saw it, I thought it was a little bit ugly, and also thought it looked a lot like a mountain cycle San Andreas. But after a few days of watching all the videos on YouTube and looking at the bike more, actually the bike has really grown on me. It's definitely a different style for Ibis, and I'm really glad to see them going away from their traditional frame look to get the best from an electric mountain bike. And I say this could be one of the best releases this year. And now on to the new long travel, full powered electric bike from Pivot, the Pivot Shuttle LT. The new Shuttle LT is rolling on 29 wheels, 170 at the front, 160 in the rear, Shimano EP8 motor, and a 756 watt-hour battery. Weight, 22.5. Available in 4 sizes and starting from 10,000 euros. My mate Iago is a bit of a Pivot fanboy. He had a Firebird 29er. I rode it a few times. Absolute weapon of a bike. So I think this bike would ride pretty damn similar. And I'm loving that Pivot have not stuck with the 630 watt-hour battery, from Shimano, and they've made their own 750 watt hours. That is a perfect size. I reckon you're probably gonna get around 13 to 1400 meters of vertical climbing with that battery. And now onto a brand new company, Crestline, making their first e-bike, All The Laps. This new e-bike looks amazing. It's not officially released yet, and this is what we know about Crestline. It's a new boutique company based out of Southern California, made by riders for riders. The owners of Crestline were not happy with the current offerings of e-bikes, so they thought they'd build their own. And that's when the All Laps, which I believe is what it's called, was born. And one of the founders, Mark, is actually who you're seeing riding the bike right now. This guy rips, and I'm sure they've made a great bike. So what we know so far, it's gonna have a Bosch motor, 750 watt hour, 29er or mullet, I think. Suspension numbers, I think we're looking at 180 to 170, not really sure on those details. Again, there's a prototype at the moment that's CNC machined that you'll see in this video here. But also, if you have a look at their Instagram page, it looks like their carbon bikes are almost ready. Size not available, price not available. We're gonna get more information, but I think this bike looks amazing and I might order myself one. It really does look interesting. I love it. It's a small company, by riders for riders. I love it. Let's get one. And now we have 4 new bikes from Simplon. Well, not exactly. We have a super light and a full powered, but you can configure them in a trail, so 150, or a enduro configuration in both the super light and the full powered. First up, the full powered Simplon Rapcon PMAX CX. That's definitely a mouthful. We are rolling on 29s, or you can configure a mullet. And we got travel numbers of 150 or 170. It has the new Bosch race motor, a 750 watt hour battery. It is available in 4 sizes and starting at 9,000 euros. And just when we thought Trek had the exclusive deal with the TQ motor, that super light 50 Newton meter silent motor. Well, no, not exactly, because Simplon just released their version. The Simplon Rapcon PMAX TQ is rolling on 29 wheels, or I believe you can set it up as a mullet. It's available in a 170/165 enduro bike or a 150/150 trail bike. With the TQ 50 Newton meter next to silent motor, a 360 watt hour internal battery, weight is coming in at 19.5 kilos, available in 4 sizes and starting from 8,500 euros. I personally think the new Simplon bikes look amazing. I would be interested to know how those bikes were designed. You know, like having a trail bike and an enduro bike sharing the same frame, one of the kinematics, one of the designs, whether it's the enduro or the trail, would have to suffer. I think, I'm not sure, you know, I'm not an engineer, but if it was possible to make these bikes trail or enduro, I would imagine we would see Specialized, Trek, Giant, Canyon all doing it. So I would love to test these bikes in both configurations and just see how they actually ride out in the trails. And Rotwild released a new bike with the same name. Well, not the same name exactly, but a very similar name. And because their bikes look all so similar and their names are so similar, I get so confused with their lineup, but they do make great bikes. So the new Rotwild R.X735 is rolling on 29 wheels, 150 travel up front, 144 in the rear, Shimano EP8 motor, and a 720 watt hour quick release battery coming in at 3.6 kilos. Weight not available, but I'm guessing coming in at 21 to 22 kilos. 4 sizes available and from 8,000 euros. This is all looking very pretty, so how about some Evil? Check out the new Evil electric mountain bike. Probably the worst kept secret over the last 18 months of this bike, but I did see it in person the other day and it is looking really good. The Evil Epocalypse is rolling on 29 wheels, 170 travel up front, 166 in the rear. Motor Shimano EP8 with 85 Newton meters. Battery 630 watt hours. Weight not available. Coming in 4 sizes and starting from 12,000 euros. As I said, I had the pleasure of seeing this bike a couple of weeks ago at LTM in Madrid. It is an absolute beautiful bike. I really like the Geo, I really like everything they've done. I'm gonna say if it had a Bosch Gen 4 with a 750 watt hour, this possibly would be one of the most popular bikes this year. Next up, Whyte E180 Works MX. Whyte have released a new race-specific e-bike, and I'm digging the look of it. We are rolling on mullet wheels, 180 of suspension up front and 170 in the rear. The new race motor from Bosch, which is pretty similar to the Gen 4, just with different firmware and a little bit lighter cased motor. A 750 watt hour battery. Weight not available, but I would be guessing 24 to 25 because Whytes are normally not the lightest bikes out there. Available in 3 sizes and coming in one model for around 11,000 euros. I'm really digging the look of this new Whyte. 170, 180, rolling on mullets with a 444 chainstay. Definitely digging those numbers. I would love to know the weight of this bike because, as I said, Whytes are reasonably heavy, and if it's a race bike, I'd like to see that coming in around 23 kilos. And the next bike is from a very well-known motorbike brand, GasGas, and they've just released the G-Enduro, which is rolling on 29 wheels. We've got 170 in the front and 160 in the rear with a Yamaha PWX3, a 750 watt hour battery, coming in 3 sizes and starting from a very impressive 4,300 euros. I'm personally loving seeing GasGas getting into the e-bike business, and the G-Enduro looks like a really nice bike, and for the spec and the pricing, it's really well priced. And next up, the giant Trance E Plus limited edition. And riders, this is not a new bike, but it is a new model, and it's quite interesting because it's coming with an 800 watt hour battery, and you can also plug in a 250 watt hour range extender, getting a whopping 1,050 watt hours, which I think might be the biggest on the market. Probably not, but very close to it. And riders, if you haven't seen my long-term review of the giant Trance E Plus, click on the link up here. But the cliff notes are, I had a fantastic time on that bike. With the automatic suspension, we got 150, 140 of travel, rolling on 29ers. The new limited edition is blinging in zip wheels. It's got wireless shifting. It is an absolute beautiful looking bike. I found the Trance a very dynamic bike to ride because of that automatic suspension, so definitely worth a look. And just to confirm, TQ does not have an exclusive deal with Trek. BMC get in on the action with a cross-country superlight e-bike. The BMC Fourstrocke AMP LT is rolling on 29 wheels. We have 120 mils of travel up front and in the rear, using the TQ 50 Nm motor with a 360 watt hour battery, weight coming in at sub 16 kilos, 15.9, available in 4 sizes and starting from 6,900 euros. This is definitely not my style of bike, but coming in at sub 16 kilos with 50 Newton meters and a 360 watt internal battery, it's a good effort. And the last new electric bike is definitely very new, and fellow YouTuber Lone Wolf had a little trip to Fezzari about a week or 2 ago, and on his Instagram he said, "What can we spy?" So let's put this video in slow motion and see what we spy. I spy with my little e-bike eye something that starts with E. It's definitely got an EP8 motor. I would say it's probably got a aftermarket or personalized battery of maybe like 750, 720, because we know the range on the EP8 is not that amazing with the 630. I also think we're probably running 160, 150, maybe 170, 160. It looks like it's a full carbon frame. It looks really nice. I think they've done a great job. It definitely looks better than their old electric mountain bikes, which were pretty damn ugly. And riders, that's it for me today with the 12 new electric mountain bikes. I know the market's getting absolutely crazy. And most importantly, riders, what is your favorite electric mountain bike? Put it in the comments below. What is coming out? got any new goss that you want to share with me, put it in the comments. And what do I think of these bikes? I'm going to say probably my favorite and the most interesting is the Crestline. I think it looks like a beautiful bike. I think it's made by riders for riders, and those boys can ride. And I'd love to test one. I might reach out and try and buy one. What do you reckon, riders? And anyway, it's been a pleasure again, riders. You stay safe out there. And remember, if you haven't subscribed to Sam's Bikes, you really should, because it's the place to be for e-bikes. And we're going to see you next week.